Alrighty, guys, let's talk about something that fans of these franchises have been waiting for, honestly, for years. Assassin's Creed Black Flag is getting a full remake, as I'm sure you guys know. And not just a remaster where they slap some new textures on it and call it a day. This is being completely built from the ground up. And we now know it's called Recent. It's coming out on July 9th, and the people who've already been seeing it are saying it looks awesome. I've been sitting on this one for a little while, just waiting to see how everything shook out. And at this point, there's enough confirmed and leaked that we can actually dig into the full picture. So let's do that. Welcome to the Backlog Filter. Before we get into the details, I want to talk about why this is such a big deal. Because if you weren't there in 2013 when Black Flag dropped, you might not fully get the cultural weight of this announcement. Black Flag wasn't just a good Assassin's Creed game. For a huge portion of this fan base, and I mean a huge portion, it was the last time that Assassin's Creed felt completely like itself. You had Edward Kenway, who's this morally complicated, charismatic pirate who kind of stumbles into the Assassin's Brotherhood rather than being born into it. You had a Caribbean open world that was genuinely alive. You had sea shanties, actual historical sea shanties, that your crew would spontaneously break into on the deck of the Jackdaw. And most importantly, you had naval combat that felt like nothing else in gaming at the time. It won Best Action Adventure at the Spike VGX Awards in 2013, and honestly, it still holds up. Then Ubisoft made Origins in 2017, and the franchise pivoted hard into the RPG territory. Leveling systems, gear stats, massive bloated maps, and look, some people love those games. I'm one of them. Odyssey has its fans, Valhalla has its fans. But a lot of the original Assassin's Creed audience felt like that era was over. Black Flag was the last hurrah before the formula changed completely. So when you hear that we're getting a full remake of that game, built on modern hardware with new content added, yeah, people are losing their minds. Now, here's the thing that makes this even more satisfying. This has been in the rumor mill for a long time. We're talking years of hints, teases, and near misses before we got to where we are today. The first credible chatter about a Black Flag remake started surfacing around 2023. Nothing concrete, just whispers in the insider community. Then in 2024, Ubisoft CEO actually confirmed in pretty vague terms that the studio was working on multiple AC remakes alongside new titles like Shadows. So the door was officially opened. Then in 2025, things started getting really interesting. The voice actor for Edward Kenway, Matt Ryan, got caught teasing the remake to a fan at Comic Con Manchester. Ubisoft apparently was not happy about that because they actually threatened to sue him, which, when you think about it, it's the most confirmation you could ever get without an official announcement. Around the same time, the European PEGI ratings board briefly listed a game called Assassin's Creed Black Flag Recent, complete with an 18 plus rating before taking it down. And Eagle Eye fans found a domain associated with the game registered in early January 2026. Then, in March 2026, the new head of the Assassin's Creed franchise officially confirmed the game's existence in a blog post outlining the franchise roadmap. Said it was called Resynced, said it would release soon, and gave exactly zero other details. The game had actually been expected to launch in March to coincide with Ubisoft's 40th anniversary. It got delayed, along with six other Ubisoft titles. And then this week, everything exploded. So here's where it all came together. Earlier this week, a listing for Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced accidentally went live on Ubisoft on Launcher. It was immediately spotted by users on Reddit's Gaming Leaks and Rumors community, and it included a promotional art showing Edward Kenway in a brand new black and gold outfit, which looks incredible, by the way, along with a description that said, and I'm paraphrasing, set sail for the Caribbean. Replay this classic swashbuckling adventure day one with Ubisoft Plus Premium. Ubisoft pulled it down fast, but screenshots were already everywhere. Now, Ubisoft had apparently planned to officially reveal the game on April 16th. That didn't happen. They quietly pushed it to next week, but here's the thing. They had already brought in media and content creators for a roughly 30-minute private preview of the game on the 16th. Insider Gaming's Tom Henderson, who is one of the most reliable people in this space, attended that presentation and came out saying the game has been completely reworked with a bunch of new content and that it looks awesome. That's a quote from someone who's seen it. And the full public reveal is happening any day now. we're likely days away from the official trailer. So, guys, let's break down everything we know about what's actually in this game. Because between the private presentation, the Indonesian game rating system database leak, the PAGI listing, and multiple insider reports, there's a lot to go through. First, it's not just a remaster, this is a full remake. It's being built on the same Anvil engine that powered Assassin's Creed Shadows, meaning completely modern lighting, revamped physics for the ocean and environments. Second, the modern day sections are gone. In the original Black Flag, there were these sections where you'd step out of the Animus and walk around the Abstergo entertainment offices as an unnamed protagonist. The game used it for narrative framing, but those are reportedly being cut entirely, replaced with more content set in the actual pirate era. For most people, this is a win, me included. Those sections were always the weakest parts of the game. Third, Mary Reed is getting her own story. This is huge. The original Black Flag had an incredible cast of real historical pirates Blackbeard and Bonnie, Charles Vane, and Mary Reed. But Mary Reed's story was always a little underdeveloped. In Resynced, she's reportedly getting a full dedicated story expansion that was never in the original game. Given how compelling her character was and how much history there is to explore with her, this could be one of the best additions to the whole package. Fourth, new characters and previously uncut story missions. The IGRS rating database described it as a game that breathes new life into a fan favorite while remaining carefully faithful to the spirit of the original. And there are reportedly missions pulled from content that was cut during the original development, including a more fleshed out version of El Tiburon fight and a deeper stealth system where you can actually talk to NPCs, drink rum, and interact with the world in ways that weren't in the 2013 version. Fifth, and this one people are going to be most relieved about, it is not an RPG. In the private presentation, Ubisoft was explicit. Quote, this remains a solo adventure and character driven experience. It is not an RPG. No gear stats, no enemy levels. Combat is apparently updated to be more in line with Shadows, which had genuinely great moment to moment gameplay, but the game's soul stays intact. It's still Black Flag, it's still Edward Kenway, still a focused narrative driven private adventure. And it's coming to PS5, Xbox Series XS, and PC. Now, the release date July 9th, 2026. This was confirmed by Insider Gaming ahead of the official reveal. And honestly, July is kind of perfect. Summer gaming, warm weather, you're in the Jackdaw, sails up, hunting ships in the Caribbean. The vibes are immaculate. The game was originally supposed to come out in March, so it's been pushed a few months. But given that people who've already seen it are coming out saying that it looks great, I'll take a July release over a rushed March one every day of the week. That means we're less than 3 months away. Now, guys, I want to zoom out for just 1 second and talk about what this means beyond just one game. Ubisoft has been in a rough spot. Shadows had a complicated launch, multiple projects got delayed or canceled, and the company's relationship with its own fan base has been tense, to put it diplomatically. But Black Flag Recent is something different. It's Ubisoft going back to the thing that people loved, taking one of the most universally beloved entries in the franchise and saying, we're going to rebuild this. We're going to add to it. We're going to give it to a new generation of players while honoring what made it special. And this is reportedly just the first. The CEO had committed to multiple AC remakes. Black Flag is the test case. If this lands well, and from everything we've heard so far, it sounds like it might, this is the beginning of something much bigger for the franchise. For people who fell off after Origins or after Valhalla, this is your re-entry point. For people who played Black Flag in 2013 and have been wondering when they'd get to feel that again, this is it. July 9th. Mark it down. If you stuck around, thank you so much for watching. This is the Backlog Filter, where we talk about the games that are actually worth your time, and honestly, Recent is shaping up to be exactly that. If you enjoyed this video, hit subscribe, it genuinely helps, and this is exactly the kind of content we're going to keep making. And I want to hear from you guys in the comments. Are you waiting for Recent to play Black Flag for the very first time, or are you a returning captain coming back to the Jackdaw? Let me know. Also, which Assassin's Creed game would you want to see remade next? Drop it in the comments. I'm genuinely curious to see where people land on that one. See you in the next one.